Mother's Day morning should have felt warm, comforting, familiar. But this year, something felt painfully different. My son walked into my tiny living room holding a bouquet brighter than the sun. His smile was soft but distant, like he was here in body, not in heart. And what he asked next completely shattered me. He sat down beside me and said gently, "Mom, Clara still gives you the $5,000 every month, right? I just want to make sure you're comfortable." My heart dropped. $5,000? For 8 long months, I had survived on church food boxes and a neighbor's kindness. I froze because I suddenly knew someone had been lying. My voice shook as I whispered, "Son, the church has been helping me. I haven't received anything." His smile disappeared instantly. Then she walked in. Clara. Perfect hair, flawless silk dress, perfume so strong it drowned out the smell of my homemade pie. She smiled sweetly. "Oh, Mother," she said, tilting her head, "I bring the money every month. Maybe you just forgot again." Forgot? My age wasn't stealing my memory. But someone was stealing something else. And what I discovered next changed everything. I stepped outside, the Texas wind hitting me hard, like the truth itself was slapping my cheeks awake. And then a terrifying thought struck me. If the money didn't reach me, who did it reach? When I got home, I opened my notebook again and wrote, "She lied. And now I need proof." But the real shock came the moment I checked the company records. That afternoon, I made a phone call I never imagined I'd have to make. David's company accountant, a calm-voiced woman named Sandra, picked up. "Ma'am, I can't share personal financial details, but I can tell you the transfers were made." My breath slipped away. Transfers were made, but not to me. Then who was receiving them? Sandra hesitated before adding, "The account under your name, the number is different from your real one." My fingers tightened around the phone. My heart pounded in my ears. A second account under my name, but created by whom? I spent that night flipping through every bill, every receipt, every note I'd written over the past months. And with each page, the truth crawled closer, sharper. Clara had never brought a single envelope, not once. She had been lying with a smile painted perfectly across her face. The next morning, while I was watering my tiny garden, the sound of expensive tires rolled into my driveway. Clara stepped out of a brand new Lexus, shining so bright I had to squint. Her dress glowed, her sunglasses sparkled, but her eyes? They flickered with nervousness. "Oh, Mother," she said too sweetly, "I came to bring this month's money." I left the envelope in the car. Left it again. The lie was obvious now, staring at me as clearly as the polished luxury car before me. And what she said next finally exposed the first crack in her perfect mask. Clara forced a small smile, but the trembling corner of her lips couldn't hide the truth anymore. "Mother, I just wanted to say that, if you want, I can handle your money directly. You won't have to stress." Stress? The same face that brought lies to my doorstep every month now wanted to handle my money? I looked straight into her eyes and said, "Clara, give me the account number where you've been depositing the money." One moment, just a single moment, her breath stopped. Her face drained of color, like a piece of fabric left in the sun too long. "Mother, do you doubt me?" This wasn't doubt anymore. The proof was standing right in front of me, wearing a designer dress and hiding behind a perfectly painted smile. I spoke in a steady, cold voice. I know where the money has been going, and I know that account isn't mine. Her head dropped sharply, the first time her flawless mask shattered completely. You're misunderstanding. I was just... Enough! I raised my hand. It's time to tell the truth. She stepped back slowly. In her eyes, I saw the shadow of fear, the kind that only appears when a lie has finally been cornered. And then, in that moment, her voice broke entirely. The money. It was going to pay my loans. I needed it. I thought David would never find out. My breath caught in my chest. My heart clenched, hurt by betrayal, by selfishness. But then, an unexpected calm settled inside me. The truth had finally surfaced. I simply said, David will know everything, and I'm stopping you right here. Clara's eyes dimmed, the shine gone, her mask fully fallen. Without another word, she walked back to her Lexus, driving away and leaving behind only the smoke of shame and fear. I stood there quietly as the wind brushed against my face. Only this time, it didn't bring Pa. Because that day, I didn't just find the truth. I found my own worth again.